achievement on its own. And we, of course, I won't say we were still playing Wings of Liberty, but that is not true. Just remember the PvP series he played against his Korean Protoss. Now I can't actually figure out his name, but it was a pretty cool, crazy series with lots of DTs and whatnot. But overall, it's always fun to watch desRow play, man. He's been improving a lot over the last year, ups and downs, of course, in his career as well. But I look forward to see how he's gonna do against KinG. I'm gonna take a look at his profile real quick. Is a one-time GM player, currently Master League. So I think desRow can do this, man. desRow should be the favorite.
Yeah. Desi is one of those guys who's just been around the scene for so incredibly long.
Day one.
He's had his ups and his downs. He was actually on a team with me way back in the day. VT Gaming.
VT Mr. Bitter. Mr. Bitter still had those dreams as well.
It was Bitter, Desi, Spades, Whiplash, Future, Poke Money. And
quite a legendary team over there, man.
We were run by Mirhi, a guy named Frank who currently works for Riot Games. At the time, he was just a very bad team manager.
Works for Riot?
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't then. Then he was he went from VT to work at IPL, to work at Blizzard, to work at Riot.
Ah, really? So he was former Blizzard and now he works for Riot. Man, that guy has been making career moves.
Yeah, man.
Even though it's been going downhill when he left Blizzard and joined Riot, as we all know. Blizzard is way cooler than Riot. Ain't that right, son?
But yeah, of course. But anyway, that's the connection I have to desRow from way back in the day.
I know desRow since my Warcraft 3 days, and I always liked him, even though he was a bit of a big mouth. But, you know, I met him for the first time in 2008, back then in ESWC, which was in California, in San Jose, actually. It's the first time I ever met desRow. By that time, he already started to be involved a little bit in Dota. He started liking Dota more than Warcraft 3 at a certain point. But he's been a good dude, man. And in the StarCraft 2, ever since the game came out, he's just been going hard at it. He had some troubles getting good at first, but in the long run, all of his practice definitely paid off. And we saw that last season. He even made a couple of big tournament trips already. For instance, he went to the very recent World Cyber Games, which I think has to be an awesome experience for anyone. And even though he didn't do that well there, it's already awesome that he went.
He's been all around the world playing StarCraft and competing and practicing, and here he is trying to make his way into this final WCS qualifier. He's played in all the other ones and has had some okay runs, but unfortunately keeps running into players that just seem to have his number.
I'm not sure about today's bracket exactly. I know that in the next round, if desRow wins this series, he will most likely play against either Guitar Cheese or Jon Snow. That's going to be a tough match for him regardless, but not an impossible one, as I've seen desRow beat even better Zergs than those two, even though I think both of them are excellent players.
If he wins the next round, he's qualified.
Really?
Yeah.
So if he wins against either Jon Snow or Guitar Cheese, he's there?
Yep.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Well, then it's a possibility, and I can't wait to cast those games for us, man. As that ZVZ series should be starting here right now, and that ZVZ series might be done by the time that we're done with this PVZ. Either way, let's focus on the build orders a little bit. We can see a one gas gate fast expand for desRow. Can drop the Nexus here. Poland Knight can be a tricky map for Protoss to go up to 3 bases. On the other end, it's a pretty okay map for a lot of strong 2-base pushes, as the rush distance from your natural, if you wall up over here, to the Zerg's natural is really not all that far.
In fact, Kev, if Desi wins this match, he has 2 chances to qualify, because next up is the round of 8, and if he loses in the round of 8, he still has a loser bracket that he can fall to. So, 2 shots for Desi if he can make it past KinG. So this is perhaps the most important game of his day. I guess every game.
Yeah, every game from now
is
on.
your most important game. But his next match could feasibly be a little bit less important than the one that would come after it.
Yeah, but if you lose that one, he has to win 2 best of 3s,
Yeah.
and it's possible that you run into either Czech or Bomber them, because Czech or Bomber might meet each other in the round of 8. But even if they lose that game, of course they still have that second bracket to fall back on. But from that bracket, only one player will qualify. So I think both Czech and Bomber are gonna go very hard at it. Would be awesome to cast those games as well, but we will see, man. Robotics facility being wiped in the main base from desRow, and that's a really, really quick robo. That's like a 5-minute sharp robo. And if anyone does that, man,
that makes you think he's going to make a couple of mortals and walk across the map.
Yep. Might not even be like an Immortal Sentry. It might just be a straight up like Immortal with Zealots, something that we saw Naniwa do quite often back in the days, and I think it's a very strong build. I think Naniwa did it without a Forge, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not going to correct you, Kev, because I don't have the Rotterdam memory.
Okay.
Roddy's memory is like, it's ridiculous. It's very frustrating. Never bet with Rotterdam about anything he remembers. Something that I seem to keep forgetting in my Poor gambling habits.
A lot of speed links are already on the way for King. Now Polar Knight is a map where it's very hard to hide stuff. Well, actually one Zergling just sneaked into the main base because you know, this is nowhere near a full wall off. If anything, the opposite is true. It's not even a wall at all at this point.
It's just like an island of Protoss buildings.
33 workers. First Warpers is making his way across the map. First Immortal is already as a follow-up. We still have a very low gas income for desRow, as he only has 2 assimilators and he's not even mining with 3 probes of them, but with 2. So I think what King is doing here, Ben, oh my god, this might be so bad for desRow.
King seems to know what's up. He's produced a ton of lings, and Desi's doing this without sentries, guys.
This could be terrible, Ben, for desRow. If all of desRow has absolutely 0 map vision right now, yes, he has that Warp Prism here and he's going to put on some fake pressure, but he doesn't know about a million speedlings that are making their way across the map. This is not a wall up, and desRow is in so much trouble.
There's no bouncing back from that. It's impossible. He's going to lose, I guess unless King just runs in circles. Desi's going to lose a lot of workers. There's no way around that. His gateways aren't even done yet, and oh no. Well, the Natural's going to be raised to the ground. The Photon Overcharge and the Immortal and the Natural were able to combine forces to defend at that location.
For how long? Look at all these links, man. This force is going to fall before +1 is even ready. desRow has 2 Zealots and 1 Immortal and a Mother Support. He has 58 links. GG, well played. King takes game number 1 here on Polar Knight with a pretty funky build and just a very hard counter to what desRow had in mind. desRow, of course, cutting a lot of corners. King perhaps picking up on that, and he punished it.
Yep, King did get that Ling Scout. Yep. And he saw absolutely nothing. He saw no units. He saw just a few buildings. I mean,
and then above all, he saw that Warp Prism making its way across the map, and he's like, hey, if I just avoid that Warp Prism and don't show all my links, sure, he might warp in a few units on my side of the map, but I'm gonna have like 40 links in his base.